It's your boy LeSean McCoy, and this is how I saved and spent my first $1 million.
Welcome to another installment of reviewing My First Million, and this time we've got LeSean McCoy.
I never really had a job per se, like a job. In my household, I had a lot of jobs. And if I wasn't on time and it wasn't done when my dad wanted me to get it done, I was in big trouble.
There seems to be a common theme in the My First Million videos where they spend recklessly, and that is that they never had a regular job prior to joining the NFL. However, it's good that his father instilled a work ethic into him at a young age.
Do you remember how much your rookie deal was?
I do remember making about $340,000, almost $400,000 a year.
Imagine your first salary is $400,000 a year, which is not even a lot compared to some NFL players.
My signing bonus was 1.6. I was like, wait, hold on, they're gonna give me 1.6. I couldn't believe it, like, dang.
Signing bonuses are a weird thing. You earn a salary, but before even doing anything, they just give you way more money up front. The way the deals are structured are for the benefit of the players. However, their unusual nature does make it a very hard situation for them to navigate.
So I didn't know nothing about taxes. So I'm like, dang, bet, I'm rich. Then when everything unfolded, it was like 800,000. That was a lot. Like, dang, where'd my money go?
The realization of taxes for people is brutal. Once you start to realize how much is taken, it's tough. Especially for athletes who have had to put in a lot of work for years that gets unpaid, then they earn a lot in one go that makes up for that, but they don't get to earn the money in smaller amounts along the way as they go.
I didn't take care of myself first. I took care of my family. That way it still made me hungry and wanted me to go out there and grind to take care of myself.
This is something that a lot of athletes do, which is nice, but it's also important to remember by putting yourself in a strong financial position, it allows you to give back for a sustained length of time.
So then on the second deal, it was time to take care of myself. And then just small things that you don't even think about, like life insurance.
I don't know if he's saying that he didn't have life insurance before, but another key one would be income insurance. I'm not sure if athletes can even get that due to the high-risk nature of their job, but that might really save them if they got a career-ending injury. Even for regular people, this can be worth it, and in certain circumstances can be even a tax write-off. But it gives you some protection if you were to get hit by a bus and no longer be able to work, but have all your bills still left to pay. He's clearly done well for himself. Early on in this series, they had young players who may never see another cent. I'm not sure if they switched it up to more established players so they can have a more positive outlook in the series.
How much have you saved percentage-wise and how much have you spent?
When I started becoming a really, really good player, I started getting a lot of more endorsement deals. So you're getting all these different small checks. You do appearances, you walk in there for an hour, you get $20,000, $25,000. So I didn't have to cut into my playing money as much. Never touching the guarantee money. And your salary is something that is permanent. My advisor has that, right? That's put away. So that way I'm not really taking all my money and spending and moving around.
Now this is an interesting answer because it's subtle, but he didn't actually answer the question. Look, most people don't know what percentage of their income they are saving, but it's very helpful with financial planning. And with the way that earnings go for an NFL player, it's very important as they only have a small earning window and they need to make the money last for a lifetime. On the positive side, the endorsement deals can really add up. Also, I saw a football player once turn up to one of these events and he may or may not have got the money in cash, so it's effectively double the amount.
Now we talked about how I save my money. Let's get to the good stuff. Let's talk about how I spend that money.
Did we? Because I don't remember hearing anything about saving or investing money here. Also, setting yourself up to be financially wealthy for the rest of your life, to me, is the good part.
On draft night, it was amazing. It was just tears of joy, and I was just so excited, man, to be drafted. And I instantly thought of, wow, now it's my turn to support my family the same way they supported me before I got to this level.
It's nice to support your family, but some people take this way too far.
I threw my draft party, and that cost some money. So about 50 grand, before I even get to the NFL. 50,000 on my draft party.
Honestly, $50,000 on a draft party, are you insane? You haven't earned a single cent yet, and you may not even get drafted, but you spent $50,000. Obviously, there was a good chance he would get drafted, but he didn't know by who or where or how much he would even earn.
What added up to the 50K?
I had DJ Drama, he's a very famous DJ. I had him come out, pay DJ Drama. I had to pay for the venue. We had to pay for the alcohol, like the props. We rented a car. I think I pulled up in a Maybach.
You spend thousands of dollars to rent a car and you think it was a Maybach? It'd be one thing if it was so memorable to spend that money, but you don't even remember what car it was. Not to mention, what value is there in arriving in a car at a party?
The cameraman, he got to get paid. The flyer people that got the flyers. We've paid for the radio. I'm talking to my friends like, man, you guys don't think it's a lot of money for a party? Oh no, listen, to have a party like this, you got to do it big. How many people from Harrisburg have ever made it from here? I said, okay, all right. And that's how I went.
I hate to state the obvious here, but don't ask people who have a vested interest in you spending wildly if you should spend money, because of course they will tell you to waste your money.
It probably tallied up to about $50,000. 20 years old, what did I know? I just felt like being at home with all my friends, family, the people that really love me and care about me. I want to do a big party there for them.
The sad thing is, if they loved you so much, surely they would say, don't waste your money on this stupidity.
The next big purchase that I made, I got a big old NFL chain, or at Shady and the NFL logo. Like nobody knew I played NFL. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. It was a big long chain, came down to my stomach. I spent $35,000 on that.
If you're getting paid to show up to places, you throw $50,000 parties, I think people will know that you play in the NFL. So there's no need to throw it in their face with a $35,000 chain.
And then I had a Breitling watch. About $20,000 on my watch, $3,500 chain. Dang, I can remember this stuff too, it's sad. Shaking my head. Jewelry, $60,000.
Breitling watch isn't as bad of a purchase since expensive watches usually hold their value and even go up in many cases. But $60,000 on jewelry when you only earn $400,000 a year is a significant amount of your income when you consider that after tax you only get $200,000 left to spend. So 1/4 of his annual income that isn't guaranteed went to jewelry.
Do you still have the Breitling watch and the chain?
The chain that I love so much, my first chain, believe it or not, it got stolen.
If you had insurance, this might actually be a positive because you can get jewelry covered under your home or travel insurance where if it gets stolen, they'll pay for it. It does increase the cost of your insurance, but it can be worth it, especially in a case like this.
My second year in the NFL, I was so happy to go to Miami. My first time going. You know, like partying in Philadelphia and Atlantic City is a lot different from partying in Miami.
Yeah, Miami is way more expensive.
We went in the club at 11 o'clock. We stayed till 5 a.m. When I got back home, they had another party. So we partying there. So it was all type of people there. And then at the end of the night, I couldn't find my chain. I woke up looking for my chain, it was gone. Welcome to Miami.
I hope he had it covered under insurance, but since he isn't mentioning it, I guess not. In which case, he just lost a major percentage of his income. That's one expensive night of partying.
So my next great purchase, I bought a Mercedes-Benz S500. And the good thing is I still have that car. That was my favorite car, and I still have it. That was old 2009, but about 100,000. I've always been a fan of like Mercedes-Benz, so to have a chance to buy it, you know, I got it quick.
He had the chance to buy it and got it quick. I don't get it. An S500 is an impressive car and it might even have some type of waiting list, but at the same time, if you're willing to buy one, you can get one. It may be a rare car, but it is still a car that you can walk into a Mercedes dealer and buy.
I remember I called my financial advisor. Hey, can I get a Benz? And he told me I can get it. He said, you can get it. You can get a car, only one.
His financial advisor said he could buy an S500. What the hell? I guess it's going to be hard to be a financial advisor for an NFL player because you need to appease them to keep them as a client, so you can't really give them solid financial advice necessarily. So if he's only got $800,000 and he spends $100,000 on an S500, that's insane. He could bust his knee and now have to go find a brand new career. An S500 ain't going to help him much when he works an entry-level job. Playing in the NFL is a high-risk career and every dollar could be the last, so buying an S500 is a horrible financial decision at that stage in his life.
Of course, I didn't listen, so I got a Benz and I got a Hummer. Now, the Hummer made me feel powerful. I'm just, it's a Hummer, they're gonna watch out. So those are my two cars I got. I should have only got one car, I should have listened, but. All right. I Brand new Mercedes, S-Class 500, 100,000. So for the Hummer, about 40,000.
$140,000 on cars to start with, the cost of these cars in the long term is astronomical and could have been the down payment on a property that would pay him for the rest of his life.
In 2009, I was so happy to play with guys like Donovan McNabb, Brian Westbrook. So that was the cool part. But they didn't tell me the part that I would hate, the rookie dinner. We went to Atlantic City. We went to Roof Chris. I didn't even eat too much. I had an appetizer and I had a steak. And at this time, I never had a drink, an alcohol beverage, until my second year. And I had to pay for bottles of liquor, champagne. I had all these big 300-pound linemen. Before the dinner, we talked about it. They hyped it up. Yeah, we're gonna get you rook. But I'm thinking at the most, $2,000, $1,000 at the most. And when I got the bill at the end, it was $10,000. Laughing, oh, Rook, good job, thanks, Rook, thanks so much. I'm gonna take this plate for the wife. I'm gonna take this plate for the kids. So I fed my teammates and their families. Just for a little rookie dinner, $10,000.
I find it absurd that in this day and age where everyone is against hazing, they can allow people to recklessly spend someone else's money. As a rookie, they may never earn another cent. If they were to get injured, that would be it. I'd be okay with it if they were just paying for a nice dinner for team bonding. But when senior players purposely waste rookies' money and buy stuff they wouldn't even pay for themselves.
Shaking my head. I wanted to buy my parents a house, which I did, but my dad would always tell me, hey son, I love the house, but I gotta drive, I gotta get there.
That just sounds so ungrateful. I'm sure the dad helped him out along the way, but if someone gives you a house and your reaction is, I also need a car, it's pushing it if you ask me. I'd be less likely to do it if someone were to say that to me.
So I bought my dad a brand new Escalade truck. My pops was great to me, so I got him a new Escalade truck, $80,000. You're welcome, Pops.
He was earning $400,000, meaning he spent 1/5 of his income on his dad's car, and after taxes, it's almost half. Again, you can say, well, he earns a lot of money playing in the NFL, but it's only temporary. At best, he'll earn for 15 years, maybe 10 years, and on average, it's only 3 or 4 years, which could end at any moment.
It was like my first time in NFL, everything was cool, and then my birthday came, and all my friends came up. We all took a trip to Vegas, and so we had a ball. And that trip ran me about $20,000. I'm not really a big gambler. I maybe learned a little bit how to gamble, but mostly it was just flights, food, partying, and partying.
Enough with the paying for friends to party. It's great that you do this stuff, but you genuinely can't afford it. You may think you can in the moment, but in 20 years' time, you're going to miss that money. Also, as a one-off, it would be a nice thing, but it seems to be a recurring theme here.
Which one's the better party city, Vegas or not?
Vegas is a lot of fun because they have something going on during the day. They have something going on at night. There's boxing matches, entertainment. There might be concerts. You could take the family to Vegas, and then you could leave the family at home, and then you can go out with the boys. So I would say Vegas is probably a better place to fully party. So a trip to Vegas with my boys for my birthday, $20K.
To put this into perspective, he spent $50,000 before earning anything. Then his first birthday, he spent $20,000. That's $70,000 of his first contract gone to just 2 parties. Let's not forget his Miami trip, which he never covered how much he actually spent on the trip, but we know he lost a $35,000 chain. He obviously parties at home too, so who knows how much his partying added up to in total.
I didn't really have a lot of nice clothes growing up. I was like average, right? So once I got money.
This is the biggest problem for athletes, this misconception that you have money. You earn a lot, but for a short period of time. However, you cannot re-earn that money. So a business person who earns half the income that you do is in a much stronger position because they can keep earning and they will usually earn more as they age. Your earning will be cut off completely, so whatever you earn in 10 years, that's it. You need to make the money last for the rest of your life, not act as if you have money now and can spend forever.
I mean, anything that was name brand I had. $2,000 shoes to Louis Vuitton shirts, Louis Vuitton hats, Gucci bandanas or Gucci headbands. I mean, you name it.
You know who doesn't have everything branded? People who actually have money. You never see Mark Zuckerberg in Louis Vuitton. You never see Bill Gates in Gucci. It's fine to buy some of these clothes, but to think you have to have your whole wardrobe be branded is actually the opposite to the idea of having money.
And not only for myself, if I'm looking like $5,000 and my homeboy that I grew up with is my main guy, I gotta make him look good too.
No, you don't.
So I say, yo man, get what you want. And they get what they want. So we all look good.
That's just so reckless. I wish I was his friend to get that, but there's no need for your friend to wear Louis Vuitton.
When I think about the clothes, I had events. They have NFL like ceremonies. You might get a nice outfit for $8,000. All right, you might have a date. She gotta look nice. You know, $5,000, $6,000 outfit for her.
What the hell? No. A nice outfit you can easily get for a few $100. My wife better not see this. I don't want her getting any ideas.
You might take your boys out. When we would go on these trips to Vegas, to Miami, when I would go shopping for myself, I would shop for my homeboys. This is the term we use. We all look like a bag of money.
That bag of money is your future. That's what you need to pay for your living expenses in 20 years' time. It's not your responsibility to pay for your friends. It's nice to give them stuff here or there, but not buy them every expensive item that you get.
So I probably spent about over $100,000 probably from clothing from year 1 to 4, for sure. For the first couple years, probably for my clothing, my wardrobe, me and my homeboys looking good, looking fresh, $100,000.
He earns $200K after tax, then spends $25K on clothes. That's way too much. We don't know how much he earned from endorsements, but he's spending nearly everything he earns from the NFL, so one would hope those endorsements are even more.
All right, for this next purchase, I gotta get a lot of money for this one. This is a special one though. And even though it might have hurt my pockets a little bit, it was worth it.
After all the spending so far, if he says this hurt, I'm actually scared, but at least it's property, so there would be some resale value there.
For my mom and dad, $400,000 for the house.
Again, on a $400K salary, he's clearly cutting into his signing bonus.
So knowing my mom, she hates surprises, and I didn't want to surprise her with this type of gift and do it the wrong way.
I don't think a house is something you can really surprise someone with. It's not the right type of purchase unless they already have said, well, this is the house that I want.
So I said, you know what, mom and dad, I'll let you build your own house. However you want to build it, you know, you can do it yourself. Just let me know how much it costs. When I told them, they were all happy, you know, and they moved out to the suburbs of Harrisburg, 20 minutes from the city.
That might be a good purchase, but we don't know the property, so who knows? But hopefully it holds its value. But so far, so much of his money has been spent on others.
But to get to $1 million, let's add one more thing. And that one more thing, man, I was living like a king. I had a condo on top of the water. I had Mike Vick upstairs. I had Bernard Hopkins downstairs. A lot of big time players in there. So I spent about $100, $150 on a condo. Real nice.
$150K, I think, is to rent, I assume. There's no way you could buy a condo in a building with those other athletes for only $150K, I would assume. Renting as an NFL player is actually smart because you could get traded at any point. So not being tied down to a city while you're playing is important. It's better to own investment properties and rent until you're on your last contract. There's no real clarity on what the condo situation was, so it's hard to judge if the $150K was for 1 year or 4 years or what.
All this money leaving, baby. All this money leaving. Condo in Philadelphia, $140,000. So for my first contract, this is how I spent my $1 million.
It would be interesting to know his entire spending and entire earning, but if that spending continued, I think he'd be in trouble in the near future.
I didn't do too bad, but I didn't do too good. As I look at all this money, this $1 million that I spent in my first years, it's tough to look at. It really is. Just the up and downs, the good decisions, the bad decisions. But ultimately, I learned a lesson, you know, and the lesson helped me for now in my career. Now that I'm older in my 12th year, over 4 contracts, I've learned how to save money. So it was a hard lesson to learn, but it was a good lesson to learn.
Unfortunately, it's not a lesson you get a lot of chances to learn. So hopefully he fixed this real quick, because no matter how much he earned, if he kept spending that way, he's destined to go broke.
I got 2 lessons for rookies coming into the NFL, getting these nice contracts. One is try to save as much money as possible.
Don't just save, invest. Create investment goals and only spend the excess.
And 2, when your financial advisor or people you meet in business or everybody has these ideas, if it sounds too good to be true, don't believe it. And on the flip side of that, if it's too hard to understand, don't deal with it. Those things right there can help you out.
That's good advice. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. In summary, there was a lot of promise here, but this is a dangerous situation. Athletes can't afford to think that they have money so they can just spend money for everyone around them. Don't even think about saving money. Instead, think about investing. Set investment goals, then only spend a small percentage of your income and invest the rest. This way, in 20 years, you will still have money coming in rather than trying to maximize your last few dollars. Hopefully you started investing before it's too late. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Was I too harsh here? Let me know what you think. And as always, good luck.